Hey y'all, how you doing? All right, I got a message for you. If those that put curses on you were to realize that they were the catalyst for you to ascend, they wouldn't put that shit on you in the first place. Stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna get into it. Hey y'all, by the time you get to the end of these two videos, you're going to be able to say, thank you so much, enemies, for helping me ascend to my higher self. And you may be saying, Divine, for real? No, you will. Watch. Hello y'all, welcome to Transformational Tantra. I am Divine Celiana, a divinely gifted love guide. And I want to welcome you. Welcome to my new love warriors. Thank you for coming and stopping by. Welcome to my returning love warriors. Thank you so much for coming in back and seeing what Divine is talking about today. What I am going to be talking about today is going to be pretty heavy. It's going to be split into two videos. It's so heavy, in fact, that I had to take notes on this, so you will see me go back and forth between my notes. And I didn't want to skip a beat, and I didn't want to get in trouble for skipping a beat. And I'm saying that because I know why I'm here and what I'm here to do. So let's get to it. So today, love warriors, we're going to look at how our enemies help us ascend. Now, I did have another video about loving your enemy and the purpose of your enemies, but this is a little different. Okay. Now, I know when I said that, you're like, what? Divine, for real? For real? But let me explain what I mean. Okay. What I mean is that the stuff they put on you helps you change, helps you catapult you to the change that you need to make. You wouldn't have made it if they didn't, right? So I know you're gonna be throughout this whole thing. You're gonna be like, Divine, have you lost your mind? Do you know what you're talking about? Yes, I do. Because I walked through it. I understand. I know that they did hurtful things to you. I know they were mean to you. I get it. I know. However, no, I ain't crazy. And the part 2 is going to explain to you how you actually get through it. Now, some people are like, well, wait a minute, hold on. There's curses and hexes and shit on me. How in the world am I supposed to get through it, baby? You can. I'm going to show you how you can. So, first, I want you to think about something. I want you to, listen to how I'm going to start this out, okay? You know when the war is declared on you, any country or anything, right? And you understand that you have to fight. It's past the point where you can't, right? And whether you wanted it or not. So what happens when you're issued a declaration of war? Your generals go and take that declaration. They start planning, right? They start planning the strategy, what they're going to do. Plan of attack, defense, offense, all of that, right? So what do? Your soldiers go through drill after drill, and then you fight, right? Now what happens, though? Soldiers on the battlefield, the generals are the ones giving the command, right? And it's the higher ranking's job to keep the soldiers alive. Much like that's the divine's job to keep the karmics alive by what we teach. And then they listen to us so they can get to the divine, right? Okay, so let me see. The higher up's job is also to make sure that there's as less casualties as possible. Okay? So what they do is they watch the enemy and they learn from the enemy what to do and what not to do, what is working, what is not working, right? You got to know that because you want to win. So in order to do that, you got to be observant. You got to watch. You got to pay attention. You got to see. And you got to say, yes, this works. This doesn't work, right? After the battle's over, what happens? You come together, you have a debrief. You ask those questions. What worked? What could have gone better? What could we done differently? What weapons do we need? What changes need to be made to ensure we win next time? Whether or not you lost the first time, but to ensure that you win next time. That's what you do when there's a war or a battle, right? Okay? All right, y'all. So every battle is fought this way. A pre-plan, strategy, right? Implementation, adaptability. Something's not working, you're going to have to adapt your strategy. Usually good generals have a backup plan to be able to do that. Examination, preparation of the new knowledge to be ready for the next time. Why? Well, you don't want it known, or unless you have a winning strategy, you don't want it known what your strategy is. Because then the other side will know how to fight you, right? So you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to change it at the moment's notice for what is needed. Okay. So every battle is fought this way. Law cases, fights on the schoolyard, government, etc. Every battle is fought this way, right? So then after that, a trial comes, war crimes, to see, to present the evidence and the spoils of the war. Basically what was gained, what was lost, things like that. Especially if it was a war waged, like a genocidal war, and someone has to be held accountable, right? You need the evidence to present. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit more. Remember, a while ago, and in my program, I referenced the law of physics because it's always in play. In particular, Newton's second law, and I had it wrong in the other one. I called it Newton's second law, what was the other law? So, Newton's second law of motion is the acceleration of an object depends on two variables, right? Net force and the mass of the object that's enacted upon it. Then you have Newton's first law in play, where if it's static, it's going to stay static unless the force is greater than what it is, but it also depends on its mass. And if it's in motion, it's going to stay in motion unless there's a force equal or greater to stop it, right? Also depending upon its mass. So, let's look at life. Okay, Divine, you mentioned Newton's laws a number of times to deal with life. Okay, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Hang on with me. So let's look at life, right? How fast you progress depends upon the heaviness of the force of the situation, the mass, okay? And how it moves you to act. Otherwise, you won't act. You won't do anything. You won't know anything is going on, okay? So in other words, if a person declares war on you, right, depending on the size, status they are, resources they have, and stuff like that, you plan accordingly, right? You may not see it as a big situation, and you may see it as a big situation, depends on your age and your experience and what you've been through, right? But your experience, okay, to fight before. Maybe you haven't fought before. Maybe you haven't experienced it before. You're going to be a little bit more scared. Maybe you're a seasoned fighter and you're like, this happens to me all the time. Bet, I got this, right? So it could be big or small, depending on the situation. But now, what if it's an organization that's against you, that does stuff to you? Okay? And then in your mind, that's perceived as bigger. Now, what resources do all of them have at their disposal? Can I fight this? Is this too big for me to fight? Are they bullying me where I can't fight this? That kind of stuff, right? Using it as a weapon against you. Well, you're going to move differently because you perceive it differently. It's a different type of threat. It is a bigger enactment of force upon you. That mass is big in your mind, right? So your strategies are going to change. They're going to vary depending upon the enemy. Okay? But it's still an enemy. All right. Now, it is the same when it comes to dealing with battles against evil forces. It is exactly the same. All right. You notice around you people will be dying. You're going to lose opportunities. You're going to have some hardships you didn't have before. You didn't understand why you were having them. You're going to just see loss all around. And you're going to realize something is up and something is on you. And you're like, no, why is something on me? This is talking about evil eye curses, generational curses, hexes, so on and so forth. Now, why does it affect you? Well, you got to be able to understand something about energy. Remember I said energy is not created nor destroyed. It always has been. It always is. It flows, right? And people don't understand not only you are energy and mass, right, and matter, but you have energy fields around you that can be manipulated. It can't be killed, but it can be manipulated. It can be stolen. It can be used. And a lot of times we don't even understand how it is, how we're used. We are used sometimes without even knowing. That's why people be like, don't give in to energy vampires. Protect your energy. You don't understand how important it is. It is. Because once that person gets into your energy field, it affects you, your organs, your DNA. It affects your matter. The atoms that make up your matter, it will affect positive or negative. Sometimes people can get in your energy and give you positive. That doesn't happen a lot. Spirit usually does that. But it's siphoned, okay? Traded. Used without your permission, though you are the one held responsible. And 90% of the time, you don't even know. So we don't get into how. We don't get into the how, okay? So then you start to feel hopeless. Lower vibration. Then you start to get angry. Lower vibration. Then what was enacted upon you, what was stolen from you, the lower vibration was used. So when you sit in anger and sorrow, and that's a lower vibration, and you're like, why is it still able to affect me? I don't understand, but you're sitting in that lower vibration, so it can. You follow me? You with me, right? So curse continues. Now, the effects of these curses and hexes and evil eyes and stuff like that, and generational curses, the effects of it are dependent upon your ability to raise your vibration, your amplitude, your frequency higher and ascend. That is how much it's able to affect you. That determines how much, right? The whole point of dark magic is to cause you harm and to hurt you. That's the whole point. So you have a lack. You go without. The whole point is to put you in your personal hell and keep you in your personal hell. Okay? Karma, though, is the payment. And we're going to get into that later. So, some of you are sacrifices for other people. I want you to understand that. Those that are jealous and envious and shit like that, you're sacrificed for other people. Your blessings are being sacrificed for other people. That's why you're losing. And they stole from your heavenly energy. Thank you. They stole from your heavenly energy your blessings and left you with your hell. That's why you're seeing your hell. Now, that why, divine? Why? Why would people do that? All kind of reasons, baby. They don't want you to move forward because they want to move forward, but they don't want to put in the work. That's the number one reason why people put shit on you. They feel that they could play God or spirit or whatever or divine, whatever it is, and they can decide what you deserve. This is the reason why they get judgment, because they pass judgment on you that they weren't allowed to pass, that they don't have the power to give. See, spirit ain't gonna let you step over in this realm when you're supposed to be staying in your lane. It stays in its lane, you're supposed to be in your lane. But when you start crossing and trying to beat spirit and make spirit's decisions, that's when you get got, especially on this plane, because you're not spirit. So you can't do that. You understand? And it's going to get you. So, when you have gifts given, sometimes you give your energy away and you're not supposed to, right? But you don't know it. Like, I'm that type of person. I shoot off energy by accident. healing people. Now, I'm not supposed to do that because if a person didn't ask me to, I'm not supposed to do that. It's something that just innately happens with me. And so if I do that to you, I apologize. But on the same token, okay, you've got to understand you have innate gifts that you're born with. And sometimes you lose them because people steal them. And they'll steal them from when you were a baby. This is also a reason why people go after children, because their innocence is intact. And they try to harm that innocence. So they steal from it, leaving the child with their personal hell. That is the ultimate wrong. You don't do that. So anyway, so now let's dive into how they help you ascend. Okay? So you wouldn't have changed, as I said before, if you weren't faced with the upheaval that was forced upon you. Now, you would stay stagnant. Well, what if spirit needs you to move? What if spirit needs you to go through something? Right? All right. So, let me ask you this question. Do you change because of hard times or good times? I'll give you a minute on that one. When people, well, of course, hard times. I mean, why would I change good times? I don't want that to keep going. Exactly, right? So, then, don't you think spirit is going to use whoever it is to help you ascend, even though they don't know they're helping you ascend? It's like killing two birds with one stone, basically, all right? When there's a change that needs to happen. And spirit can kill two birds with one stone, teach you the lesson, and dealing with that other person's judgment and change. That's two or multiple people, or more than, people changing. Well, spirit's going to use that. And it's going to observe what you do and they do. How you handle it, how they handle it. And it's going to watch. But guess what? They initiated judgment on a person that they weren't supposed to. So then karma is initiated. And judgment is initiated, and it waits. It waits to see the outcome. Okay? So, when spirit has had enough, it says, okay, you can stop now. But what happens? What do our enemies do? A lot of times they don't stop. They don't see the message of stop. Right? And so, this is when spirit gets involved. Then, spirit has to step in and either reverse it, cause the same harm, or what else have you. It initiates karma. Okay, karma, you can do your job. So, let's get back to the ascension piece. So, when harm is done to you, what do? You sit up just like a battle strategy. You observe. You say, this is funny. This is going on. Why is this going on? Then you find out something's on you. Then you try to figure out, how do I get this shit off me? Why would they even put it in me in the first place? We sit on that a long time and get angry about that a long time. That'd be sitting in that lower vibrational energy. It's there. It's there. It was done. We now have to concentrate on how to get it off, right? And you can't. So, you sit, you observe, you adapt, you examine, you create a plan of action, right? Then you have to implement that plan. This is what I'm talking about with the hard work. The hard work. Remember, you were given language and you were given knowledge to know. Knowing is not understanding. You got to do the work of understanding. You were given 2 out of 3. But the understanding is the real hard work. But sometimes the knowing is hard work too, because you got to get to the clarity of knowing what's going on, right? So, if you do the work, you move to ascension. If you stay in anger and sorrow and depression and anxiety, those are your lower vibrations. You're not ascending. So it can go either way. And it really depends on you which way you want to go. Now, you can't say you want to ascend and you don't do the work. That don't work like that, babe. You want to ascend, you're going to get that understanding because you said that you wanted it, but that means you're going to have to do the work. You understand what I'm saying? So, Everything has a plan and a purpose. Even these curses and evil eyes and shit like that has a plan and a purpose. Is it fucked up? Hell yeah, it is fucked up. It is. Does it take years? It takes lifetimes sometimes, meaning coming back and living it in continuum, or living it again because you didn't get the lesson before. Hell yeah, I said it's fucked up. It's not quick. Sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't. It depends on what's being done. For some of us, we have a repeat of lifetimes of this shit happening from the same groups of people, but their ancestors for generations. Yeah, I'm going to let that sit in you for a minute, because some of y'all don't even know that. Some of you are like, I don't even believe in all that. Really? Okay. How does Spirit send you a lesson? Easy or hard? And that's all I got to say. You can believe that the curse or the hex or whatever is the catalyst or not. You don't have to. But the question is, when it needs to teach you a lesson, is it easy or hard? Well, Spirit can erase what's on me, yes. But if it's a lesson, a love lesson, it ain't going to. It's going to keep it right there until it decides you've had enough. I know you know this. You live it every day. So I know you know. Right? So everything has a plan. Your life can't be a smooth ride, babe. Your life can't be a smooth ride because there's things you got to learn. Unless you've gotten to the point that, okay, I'm going to come back as a divine, I'm going to help people, then you mainly have a smooth ride. But baby, you got people. You have people influencing your energy field. And things, thank you, and things are going to happen. Period. Things are going to happen. So Spirit uses the opportunity to see what we all do. That's why everything is allowed on this plane. Beautiful saying from one of my favorite video games and groups, Assassin's Creed, based on the Assassins. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. That is true because of free will. Everything is permitted. But baby, don't think there's not a choice and that there's not a repercussion and that there's not a karma. There is. How you decide to walk it is how you decide to ascend. So they put it on you. Okay, are you going to stay in the lower vibration? Are you going to ascend up to the higher vibration? Are you going to see that love of yourself is needed to move above that? Because when you're here, when it's given to you here, but you start moving from here and up, guess what? You don't see that no more. You didn't ascend it. You don't see this no more. It may still be there, but it ain't hitting you the same. And baby, believe that karma's coming. You understand? Believe that judgment is coming because your enemies took it upon themselves to act like they were judge, jury, and executioner. So guess what? Spirit and guides and everything else in karma becomes their judge, jury, and executioner. No one told them to do that but them. So it falls on them and their lines. Don't believe me? Go on in the Old Testament where I don't go. Go ahead in the Old Testament and see how many family lines were fucked up because of shit that someone else did in those lines and how they paid. Go on and read that. You don't want to believe it. Go back in the Old Testament and read that. And the 12 tribes. And you had different people in different ones of those families doing certain things. And you're going to read generationally what happened. And you're going to see, it will say, you and your son's sons and your son's sons are going to bear this cross. Go ahead and not believe it. Go ahead and try to say that, well, that's magic and stuff, which Bible has its own magic. Go and not believe. Go on and sit up there and listen to somebody else instead of paying attention to your own damn intuition to tell you what's true and what's not. Go ahead. It's still going to affect you. Whether you, and that's the other thing you need to understand, whether you believe or not, the universal laws and the shit that happens in this plane still affects you whether or not you believe. But you might as well fortify yourself so you know how to fight. That's what I do. And I teach people how to fight. How to be a love warrior. Because you're a love warrior. You were born one. You're a love warrior. I show you how to do that. So, we're going in this right now. I want you to sit in that for a moment. This is the first part of how your enemies help you ascend. And they don't even know. If they knew, they wouldn't be fucking with you. Think about that. If they knew they helped your ascension, they wouldn't fuck with you. Because they helped me with mine. And ooh, when they realize they did, they're going to be mad as hell at themselves. Because I was the wrong one to ascend. But I did. All right, y'all. So, what we do here on my channel is we go through lessons. A lot of people are leaving the church and stuff. I am not religious. A lot of people are not believing in the divine, even though the divine is there. I help people understand why they have to go through what they go through, the shit they have to go through, and the understanding. And then I help you gain, I help teach you what you need to gain that strength to be able to walk it and get back to spirit. See, it's a spiral. We're going to get into that too another time. But it's a spiral. You're born, you experience, you raise up. When you start loving yourself, you go back to when you remember those memories when you were a child to fix some of that perception so you can ascend even higher to where you're supposed to be, so then you can understand spirit, why spirit loves you, how it sees you from your eyes, and get a new understanding and a partnership with spirit to understand. I help you raise higher than the shit that's put on you. And that's why I get a lot of shit. But I'm higher than that. All right, y'all. I just wanted to give you a minute to sit in that, because this is a heavy topic. So part 2 is going to show you how I did it. And it's simply by walking my program that I created. This is why the program was created. This is why I'm here. This is why I was born. To give you a program to help you understand what spirit is trying to do. That helps your faith. That helps you believe. By giving you a real application. And spirit understood. People need a real application of the truth. Because everything around you has been a lie. Even some of the organizations that are supposed to be teaching you this. But they're just regurgitating words. They don't understand. They understand it from their perception. Or they're not teaching you the right thing. Some of them. Some of them are teaching you the right thing. But you're still not getting it. Because you're not on that level to understand it yet. I'm here to take you from here. From karmic to divine. There to do the rest. You did. That's why I'm here. So in part 2, I'm going to show you how we do just that. All right, y'all. Take care. Namaste.